This melee build I'm about to show you is pretty broken at the moment. You can deal really high damage, and at the same time you can tank the majority of enemy hits. You rarely have to dodge at all. This makes melee bosses on Apocalypse look like they're on the survival difficulty. Just look how quickly we got Kaela's health bar to drop down. I think you'll have a lot of fun using this build. It's pretty crazy just how much damage and punishment you can survive with this. Here we have 3 of us players on Apocalypse difficulty, so you know just how much damage the Red Prince is doing with all those multipliers. And I even have the 5 times curse on me, so I can only be below half health at best at all times. Yet I'm easily surviving a face-to-face battle with the Red Prince, and we're just trading blows. I even survived the surprise attack whilst I'm trying to revive my teammate. So this build can work really well if you're a solo player or regularly teaming up with others. Being able to tank most damage is really good, but the best fun is the high melee damage output. It just melts elites and those spongy enemies. Some elites go down with only 3 swings. Whilst I was putting this video together, I realised I accidentally left a shield effectiveness relic fragment in my relic. I have since swapped this out for the damage reduction fragment. That 5% damage reduction makes this even more powerful, especially for those boss battles. Now let's check out how this all works. A lot of the build is aiming for us to have 5 stacks of bulwark when battling tough enemies, and this is what gives us our tankiness. To achieve this, we have the Challenger for the primary archetype, with Juggernaut for the skill. The Challenger is primary archetype because we want that die hard prime perk for a second chance. A melee build should always have a backup as you're always in danger. And all the other Challenger perks and Juggernaut skill increase damage output and reduce the received damage. Plus the Juggernaut skill stacks 3 stacks of bulwark, which is great when you're in trouble. We want the Summoner for second archetype, and for the skill you choose between the Minion Flyer or the Minion Hollow. Don't pick the Reaver, as we want 2 minions on the field at a time and the Reaver is capped at 1. The reason we want 2 minions out is due to our Soul Guard ring, which gives a stack of bulwark for each active summon. So this basically gives us a constant 2 stacks of bulwark all the time for damage reduction. The amulet is decayed margin for the melee damage lifesteal and increased lifesteal when our health is low. And when at full health, we gain a big 25% increase to melee damage. You want the Fey Bruiser ring for that constant 2 extra stacks of bulwark when dealing melee damage. With only this and the Soul Guard ring, you should have a minimum of 4 stacks of bulwark when in a fight. This alone provides around 22% damage reduction, which is pretty huge. The next 2 rings are personal preference, and I have gone with the Haymaker's ring and the Bright Steel ring, allowing me high armor with the fastest roll, and that armor encumbrance provides me with a big increase to melee damage. However, I'm thinking of possibly swapping one of the rings for Anastasia's Inspiration, as it'll give me haste, which increases melee attack speed, which will increase my health regeneration plus increase the window where I receive reduced damage due to my steadfast mutator on my melee weapon, which is another massive 20% damage reduction. And all damage taken is converted to grey health. What do you think? Should I swap it or keep it the same? For the relic, I went with the Void Heart, as it reduces incoming damage by a massive 50% and then heals me to full health. You can see all of these items provide us with a huge amount of damage reduction. Your weapon choice is also personal preference. However, make sure they have open mod slots available, as we want to equip Root Lash and those pesky space crabs again, as they both count as summons and will provide us with more stacks of that sweet bulwark. I used Feedback and Harmonizer mutators to increase the mod damage and regeneration, but again that's up to you. For the melee weapon, I recommend the Stonebreaker, as it has really high damage numbers, plus the charge attack hits a lot of enemies if in a group, and it'll stagger enemies often, which helps reduce the times you will get hit. But remember, for the Steadfast Mutator, we want to be doing charged melee hits to trigger the Mutator, as standard hits won't do anything. I'm thinking of swapping out the 7 trait points from Untouchable and into Triage to further increase our health recovery, but I'm still testing them out. If you prefer Triage, let me know. And that's it. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy using this unstoppable melee build. If you enjoyed it, please give me a like, as it really helps me out. I'll be working on more build videos, plus the DLC content, so I hope to see you there. Bye!
We have an enemy in our midst!